It's got to be real.
Be real. Be real. Yes, guys, what's going on? So, with us today, we've got Mauricio Herrera on the phone. How you doing, Mauricio? Are you doing well?
Yeah, I'm doing real good. How are you guys?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Right, okay, so I'm Sham. I'm calling from Be Real TV. Ruslan Provodnikov, right? You won that fight, and now you've had a very close fight with Danny Swift Garcia. Um, Now you've got a great chin. You're a real good counterpuncher. Can you talk to me a little bit about what your game plan was going in against Danny Garcia and what you wanted to do against him in that fight?
Well, I was watching Danny, before I fought him for a while, and I always thought I could match well with him. I knew that I just being myself and what my style is to box, to use the jab, was going to give him problems. I knew going in I was going to frustrate him. Was the main thing, frustrate him. I knew he was going to be confused in there. I had said it before, and everything turned out, was exactly how I felt it was going to turn out, and it worked. I mean, his style just couldn't do anything with my style, and I just confused him all night and frustrated him. And I think the jab was the key.
Definitely, definitely. I realized when you were fighting him, you didn't go on the front foot as much. You were very adamant to go on the back foot, and your ring generalship was incredible. And Danny Swift Garcia got really confused. Was that part of your game plan to counter punch and to maneuver around the ring?
Yeah, I like to do a little bit of everything. I love counter punching. I knew he wasn't going to expect that. I don't know what they saw in my past fights. Maybe they didn't look real good and see what my style was, but I knew I was gonna mix it up in there. I knew if he was gonna come forward, I was gonna box a little, and if he was gonna just start going backwards, I was gonna pressure him, and I was ready in all areas, and it worked out perfect. I thought I did exactly everything I had to do to beat him. He was confused in every round and couldn't figure me out, and that's how I saw it before the fight.
A lot of my viewers felt that you won the fight. I found a lot of people that were saying that they felt you won the fight. It was a very close fight though. But I think more than anything, I expected Danny Garcia to perhaps maybe give you a rematch or at least fight Lamont Peterson. But he hasn't done any. He hasn't even rematched Lucas Matthysse. I mean, do you think Danny Garcia is avoiding you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he gave Eric Morales a rematch. But yeah, I don't think he wants to go through that again. I don't think he saw anything about my style that he can figure out a second time around. So I think he's trying to avoid that. He's trying to avoid the Matthysse, because it was a close fight also. And I think he just he wants to move on and maybe stay away from those kind of fights and get something easy, something he can have a for sure win on. And I think that's what he's doing now.
Yeah, I don't even know who the guy he's fighting is. I know quite a bit about boxing, but I don't know. I've never heard of the guy he's fighting. Lamont Peterson also, he's fighting a no-namer as well. I'm quite disappointed in that. A lot of boxing fans are very disappointed in it. Who are you looking to fight now? I mean, there's Chris Algieri there, there's Ruslan Provodnikov, there's Lucas Matthysse out there in the 140 division. There is still fights there. Who would you like to fight now that Danny Garcia and Lamont Peterson are out of the picture?
Well, I know I have my fight coming up July 12th with Joan Perez. I have to get through him. He's a pretty tough guy himself. Well, if everything goes well with him, I would love to fight anybody with the belt holders. I would love Lamont, even Chris Algieri. I'll fight him. Danny, I don't know where he's at this point, but anybody who holds a belt and anybody at the 140, I just want to step my game up and give me another chance somewhere with any of the top 140.
For sure. Now I know you're not looking past John Perez, but what is your game plan going into this fight, and what do you want to do against this guy?
Well, I want to impress the people, a little bad with this fight. I want to, just show a little bit more of what I got. I feel that I can, if I try real hard, I can maybe get a stoppage. Get the please the crowd. I'm willing to take some more risks and to get an entertaining fight. I'm a cautious fighter. I'm trying to be a smart fighter all the time. But, still be careful, but just look to impress a little more,
Could you tell us a little bit, Mauricio Herrera, the bit of viewers who don't know about you? Could you tell us a little bit about your amateur career and how you fared as an amateur?
Yeah, it's funny, as an amateur, I started boxing at 13, but I didn't have my first fight till I was 18. That was my first amateur. I was already 18. I spent a lot of time in the gym. Same with the pros, I turned pro at 27. But my amateur fights, a lot of them were local. I only had about 33 amateur fights. Only had 2 losses. But the weird thing about it, my amateurs, I was fighting at junior middleweight in the amateurs, all the way up to 158, almost middleweight. Wow. I was fighting a lot of big tall guys, on my amateur career.
Yeah, I bet 158 pounds. My God.
No, 158. 158 to 154, and 149, probably 147. But they're all pretty big people, pretty big guys that I had. So, I mean, Johan, the guy I'm fighting now, I think he's almost like 6 foot, 5'11", something like that. So, I'm used to fighting big guys, and yeah, my amateur career I didn't have too many fights, but the fights I did have, I did real well, and I just spent a lot of time in the gym and just trying to perfect my craft and watch a lot of fights and I just try to be the best, smartest fighter I can be.
Now, John Perez, like you said, he's a tall fighter. He's beaten Yoshihiro Kamagai, who had a real good battle recently with Robert Guerrero, if I'm correct. And he's only lost to Pablo Cesar Cano, who again is another good fighter. What is your game plan going to be, and how are you going to get? Are you going to try and get inside and fight on the inside, or are you going to keep it on the outside, even though this guy's a bit taller than you? What's your game plan? How are you going to go about that?
Well, I've seen a couple of his fights now, and he doesn't seem to use his reach, and his height like he should. It looks like he has the reach advantage and everything and the height, but he doesn't fight tall, and I think that's not going to be That's not going to be good for him. I think it's going to be not too hard to get on the inside on him, but I'm looking to work his body, break him down. But I see his defense is, the little flaws there, and I'm gonna take advantage of all that. I don't see him pumping and stabs and fighting with straight shots on the outside. I think he mixes it up too and pulls back at times. I see a lot of different things. If I'm just myself and I don't try to do anything too much different out of my style, I think I'll do good. And I throw a lot of punches, so I mean, if he pulls back, he goes on the rope sometimes. So I'm looking to attack him in a lot of different ways.
Now, Mauricio, I just wanted to also ask you. You seem to have pretty good chin, and I spoke to Brandon Rios the other day, and he's another fighter who's at 147 who has a tremendous chin. And you've never been knocked out before. You faced really big punches. You faced Mike Alvarado, you faced Mike Dallas Jr., you faced Ruslan Provodnikov, and even Danny Garcia, and you don't get knocked out. Why do you think that is? Do you think it's because you've got a naturally good chin, or do you think it's got to do with your boxing style and the way you keep your chin tucked down? What do you think it's due to?
I think it's both, I think it's just the character built in me, not wanting to go down and mentally staying strong. But I think it's my style, too. I don't go for too much in exchanges. If you watch my fights carefully, I'm never... If there's most guys that look for the punch, for the knockout punch, they're always in exchange to getting hit themselves. And if you see the way I fight, I never try to put myself in those positions too much. I always try to see every punch that's coming. There's always a punch that you don't see. So I try to stay cautious, in between flurries and stuff. And don't just, close my eyes like Danny does sometimes, or other fighters. They're just getting the mix and the trade. And punch they don't see, usually puts them down or hurts them. So I try to stay alert on every punch that comes my way. And I just don't choose not to go down. And I think all that together, what you said, it just helps me out.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Now, Mauricio, one final question I just wanted to ask you, yeah. I've asked pretty much everyone this that I've interviewed so far. Who is your biggest inspiration in the boxing world? Who is your biggest inspiration?
I like a lot of fighters. All the old fighters. All of them inspire me. Do Ali, to Cesar Chavez, Even I like watching a lot of James Toney. James Toney, I think, is one of the best fighters out there. That anybody wants to learn how to box and fight on the inside, fight off the ropes. Watch a James Toney, fight. When he was out in his good days. But all the fighters inspire me. Almost that I used to watch growing up. And I try to take a lot of them from a piece from each of them.
Cool. Mauricio, do you want to if Danny Garcia is listening to this right now, he didn't choose you, and I feel like he's ducked Amir Khan in a rematch. I feel he ducked Lucas Matthysse, and I think he's ducked you as well. Do you want to say anything to Danny Garcia if he's listening to this?
He can do what he wants. I don't get too much for Danny. I mean, he knows deep inside what happened in all those fights. So whether it's Matthysse or Khan or me, he's just ignoring everything. But I know at night something that he's thinking about. I know he's reading those comments. So hey, just let you know you didn't win that fight.
All right, Mauricio. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. I wish you all the best of luck in your career. And yeah, man. Hope to speak to you soon.
All right. No, thank you very much. Thanks for this interview.
Good luck for your next fight, brother. Take care of yourself.
Okay, man.
See you. Nice
Take care.
Take care. Bye.